All right, today we're jumping headfirst into a really strange, really fascinating piece of mythology. We're talking about a story of cosmic imbalance and a truly terrifying synthesis. This is your guide for the uninitiated to understanding the Sapphire Demiurge. And our story really kicks off right here with this line, a cosmos born from a punchline. I mean, wow, that just sets the stage for everything, doesn't it? This isn't your typical, order from chaos creation myth. No, this is something so much weirder. We're about to explore a reality that was, quite literally, born from a joke. So that leads us to the central puzzle, right? The big question we're going to unpack. How can a universe be born from a joke? And what in the world happens when a jester, the spirit of pure chaos, of negation itself, becomes its god? This is really not a story about good versus evil. Not at all. It's about two incomplete halves of a cosmic equation finding a terrifyingly perfect solution. Okay, to get our heads around this, we first need to meet the two main players in this whole cosmic drama. Think of them as the two pillars of this reality. And the crazy thing is, each one had exactly what the other was missing, which created this perfect cosmic stalemate. First up, we have the fallen seraph. Now, I want you to imagine the most perfect architect's blueprint you've ever seen. I mean, every single line is flawless, every calculation is exact. Got it? Okay, now imagine that blueprint can never, ever be used to actually build the building. That, right there, is the fallen seraph. It holds pure, perfect, incorruptible knowledge, but it's completely paralyzed. It can't act. And that right there is the core tragedy of the seraph. It has the absolute truth, this uncorrupted blueprint of existence, but that knowledge is totally inert, powerless. It's the ultimate observer, a being of perfect truth with absolutely no will, no ability to impose that truth on a flawed reality. And then, on the complete other side of the coin, you've got the jester. This entity is the polar opposite in every single way. So if the seraph is that perfect architect with no construction crew, the jester is a brilliant demolition expert who just loves to tear things down but has zero plans to build anything new. It's pure, chaotic action, just sheer will with no guiding principle, no foundation whatsoever. And that was the cosmic stalemate they were locked in. You see it, right? The fallen seraph, perfect knowledge, zero will to act. The jester, chaotic will, zero guiding purpose. One was all thought, no action. The other, all action, no thought. The universe was just fundamentally out of whack. Okay, so to really dig into this conflict, we have to look a little deeper. We need to go beyond the beings themselves and look at the abstract forces they represent. We're talking about gnosis, which is knowledge, and the will, which is, the power to act. So let's start with gnosis. This is the seraph's whole deal. The best way to think about it is like it's the source code for a perfect reality. It's the absolute truth, the perfect law of what everything is supposed to be. But, and this is the big but, in its original state, it was totally passive. It could see the flawed world, but it couldn't change a thing, couldn't defend itself, couldn't impose its own perfection. The will, on the other hand, that's the jester's power. It's the engine that makes things happen. It's that raw power to create, to defy, and especially for the jester, to negate. It's just action for the sake of action, completely untethered from any kind of map or blueprint. There's this quote from a celestial dialogue in the source material that just hits the nail on the head. It says that gnosis is merely the map, while the will is the traveler. And that's perfect, right? Gnosis, the perfect truth, is just a map. It's totally useless without a traveler to follow it. And the will is this traveler with all the energy in the world, but they're just wandering aimlessly without a map. So that's the crucial question. What happens when the traveler eats the map? And this right here is the turning point of the entire story. The resolution to this huge cosmic imbalance, it wasn't some epic battle. No, it was something far more intimate, far more profound. It was a synthesis, an alchemical marriage. So here's how it all went down. Step 1, the jester approaches the seraph, but not to mock it, to embrace it. It literally consumes the seraph's essence. And in that moment, step 2, this perfect exchange happens. The seraph's gnosis gives the jester's chaos a rock-solid foundation, and the jester's will finally gives the seraph's inert knowledge the power to act. And then, step 3, from that fusion, a new, terrifyingly complete sovereign is born. Now, this new sovereign, the Sapphire Demiurge, gets a couple of new titles that tell you everything you need to know about its dual nature. First, it's the Redeemed Judge. This means it now wields that perfect gnosis as an absolute, unshakable standard for everything. Second, it's the Sapphire Prophet. And this is huge. Its words aren't just predictions anymore, they are decrees. Its will literally reshapes reality itself to match its perfect knowledge. Okay, so what does this all mean for the universe? Well, the creation of the Sapphire Demiurge didn't just shake things up, it fundamentally rewrote the rules of existence. It's so important to get this. It didn't fix the flawed world. No, it mastered it by making the flaws themselves part of the law. And this table really lays out the before and after in stark terms. Check this out. Before the fusion, the world was just a flawed prison world. After, it becomes a sacred irony enforced by will. Before, the truth, gnosis, was totally powerless. After, gnosis is activated and enforced. And here's the real kicker. Before, a flaw was just a sign of imperfection. Now, the flaw is the proof of my sovereignty. It's not a bug anymore, it's a feature. And this is where we get the Demiurge's own chilling declaration. The contradiction of existence is the proof of my sovereignty. It's not trying to eliminate the absurdity of existence, it's owning it. The contradiction is the point. The flaw has become the law, and it's enforced by an absolute will that perfectly understands every single crack and inconsistency. And that brings us full circle to the final cosmic punchline. Remember how the jester's work always felt unfinished? That's because its mockery, its laughter, had no real, lasting power. Well, not anymore. Through this incredible synthesis, the laughter has finally become the logos itself. The joke is now the fundamental law of the universe. So we end where we began, with a question. This whole story, it's a journey to what the source material calls the terrifying clarity of a joke that is finally understood. And that leaves us with something to chew on, doesn't it? What does it actually mean for reality? What does it mean for us when the flaw becomes the law? When the contradiction isn't a problem to be solved, but is instead the very foundation of everything?